Good morning. Greetings, friends, and welcome to the Brightside, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and health and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to the Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on the Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 27 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure, because the human biological system is a healing system. It's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is no miracle at all. It is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we welcome your calls on the Bright Side at 855-660-4261, 855-660-4261. It's first come, first served, so try to get on board early so we can get to as many calls as possible at 855-660-4261. If you want to learn or you want to have questions about the longevity products, you have questions about ingredients or formulations, we can help you at 855-660-4261. Excuse me. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products that you hear advertised on the program, you can call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Or you can head over to my website, brightsideben.com. Take a look at our shopping cart, our pull-down menu, and on the upper left-hand corner of the page at brightsideben.com. We've got all the longevity products up there, including my personal favorite, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, now Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. You can find out what so many people have been finding out over the last 17 years, how effective a nutritional supplement program can be, especially when it's in a liquid form. That's what the Beyond Tangy Tangerine will give you. Dense nutritional supplementation packed with water-soluble nutrients as well as fat-soluble nutrients, all in a liquid form, which means it goes right to work. If you've got a gallbladder removed or any kind of digestive problems, chances are pretty good you're going to be deficient in nutrients. Your Beyond Tangy Tangerine, 1 or 2 scoops a day, will go right to work, bypass any kind of digestive issues that you have, and most folks will notice results within 1 or 2 doses, results like lower blood pressure, more energy, better sleep, lower blood pressure, getting off their medications, weight loss, etc., simply by using the Beyond Tangy Tangerine as well as the other fine nutritional supplements from longevity. You can find out all about it at brightsideben.com. You can also join the Brightside Ben team. Click on the Join the Team link on the upper left-hand corner of the page, right above the shopping cart, and somebody will get back to you with information for a one-time $10 fee. You can start yourself a longevity business, get your products at the wholesale price, and help spread the word about the power and the importance of a good nutritional supplement program, in addition to making a little bit of money selling the longevity products, or making a lot of money. Some folks are making quite a bit of money selling longevity products. The products basically sell themselves. You can find out all about it by calling the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470 or clicking on the link right above the shopping cart at brightsideben.com. Okay, thanks for joining us once again on the Bright Side. We're talking about the chemistry of the body, how everything gets made in the body. The body is basically a chemical factory. All the cells of the body do their work by making things, making chemicals. That's what a cell does. That's the raison d'etre. The reason for existence of a cell is to make stuff. Chemical A gets converted into chemical B, gets converted into chemical C. The cells in the body are ultimately chemical transforming systems, turning one chemical into another, into another, into another, into another, endlessly, ceaselessly, every moment of our lives. When we're not as healthy as we should be, it's simply because chemistry is not proceeding as it should. Under conditions of energy shortage, an energy crisis, if you will, chemical processing doesn't happen like it's supposed to be happening. Instead of chemical A getting turned into chemical B, into chemical C, into chemical D, into E, F, G, H, I, J, and on and on and on, chemical A may, for example, get turned into chemical B, but it may not make it into chemical C. And that's going to lead into a buildup or an accumulation of chemical B and a shortage of chemical C. And all of these chemistry defects, these breakdowns in the procedure and the processing of chemical A into chemical B into chemical C, this breakdown can occur following secondary nutritional deficiencies, oxygen deficiencies, and too much toxicity. When we talk about all disease being cell disease, what we really mean is all disease is some kind of breakdown in cells turning A into B into C. And this is all secondary, all following nutritional deficiency, respiration problems, lack of oxygen, and accumulation of toxicity. That, in a nutshell, folks, is a succinct and concise description of how the disease process shows up and how the toxic chemical homocysteine can build up. Homocysteine, as we talked about yesterday, it has some important roles. I don't want to say it's a complete toxin, but when it builds up, it can build up to toxic levels. Chemical A gets turned into chemical B and gets turned into chemical C. And when this procedure doesn't move accordingly, when A doesn't turn into B or B doesn't turn into C, certain things can build up, and one of those things can be homocysteine. One of the important A to B to C chemical pathways, that's what they're called, pathways. One of the important chemical pathways involves an amino acid called methionine. Methionine is an amino acid that's found in animal products, and it's a very, very important amino acid. Methionine gets converted into cysteine. Now, cysteine is our detox amino acid. Methionine is found in food. It's an essential amino acid that you got to get from meat and from eggs and from basically animal protein. Beans will get you some methionine. You eat your methionine goes into your digestive system, and it gets turned into cysteine. But between methionine getting turned into cysteine, there's a little intermediary, and that's called homocysteine. So in our A to B to C, you've got methionine as A, homocysteine to B, and cysteine to C. A to B to C. That's just one little chunk of a chemical process. A getting converted into B, getting converted into C. And if you want to give these things proper names, methionine gets converted into homocysteine, gets converted into cysteine. But all of this has to occur within an environment, a milieu of nutrition, a milieu of oxygen, and a clean, pristine environment without a lot of toxicity. Methionine gets converted into homocysteine, which in turn gets converted into cysteine. But if we're deficient in certain nutrients, or if we don't have enough oxygen present, or if there's toxicity present, that homocysteine will not get converted into chemical C. It in turn will build up. Big problems will result. In fact, heart disease is one of the hugest problems that will result. And as I was saying yesterday, cholesterol, while it gets, everybody always wants to know about cholesterol and lowering cholesterol. Doctors will test your cholesterol. You'll get poison medication to lower your cholesterol. Surprise, surprise, the link between cholesterol and heart disease is somewhat specious. It's not necessarily real. We don't necessarily know it's true. People with high cholesterol have heart disease or live long lives. People with low cholesterol get heart disease. The link between cholesterol and heart disease is tenuous at best. However, the link between chemical B, homocysteine, which builds up under conditions of nutritional deficiency, and heart disease and a lot of other health problems is very firm and has been replicated. And most scientists and most medical professionals believe that it is the real cause of heart disease, as well as Alzheimer's disease and other inflammatory health issues, including, as we'll talk about here in a little bit, skin aging and wrinkles. All of this is because chemical A is getting hung up, if you will, getting stuck at the chemical B level, and it's not proceeding into chemical C. Of course, this will also mean a deficiency in chemical C as the chemical pathway gets hung up right in that middle part, right in chemical B. Methionine is super important stuff. There was a famous experiment back in the 1950s done at the University of Chicago where they actually showed that methionine was one of the amino acids that is responsible for the origins of life. How do you like that? According to biologists, it was one of the first amino acids that showed up when Earth was just a big dead rock billions of years ago. All right, got so much more to say here about methionine, how you could actually lower homocysteine using nutritional supplements. We'll continue when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You are listening to The Brightside on the Genesis Communication Network.
Hey, everybody, Jason Lewis here with another great idea from JasonLewisTeam.com. Now, how would you like an energy drink that's actually good for you? That's right, one that not only gives you an afternoon pick-me-up, but that's loaded with the most important antioxidants for reducing the damage from stress. It's called Pollen Burst, and it's a natural burst of energy that lasts for hours. Now, most energy drinks rely on a massive dose of caffeine, sugar, or even vitamin B. Pollen Burst takes a more balanced approach, and that's why I like it. I also love the fact that Pollen Burst has plenty of vitamin D and green tea extract. This is the best energy drink I've ever tried. So trust me, you'll not only like it better than the others, you'll love the way it's individually packaged for freshness as well. They've got these on-the-go stick packs. They're great. Pollen Burst. It's available at JasonLewisTeam.com or simply call 1-855-310-TEAM for a natural burst of energy. It's Pollen Burst at JasonLewisTeam.com or 1-855-310-TEAM.
Hi, this is Gary Cooper with Midas Resources, Gold and Silver. Government shutdown, inept politicians, entitlements, looming Obamacare. The death of the U.S. dollar as a global reserve currency is what nobody wants to acknowledge. We have a debt bubble that cannot be paid and will eventually crash the dollar. If you're concerned about keeping your money, why not consider storing your wealth in gold and silver? Call me, Gary Cooper, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 130. Together we'll discuss your options of buying gold and silver. Again, the global elite have plans for your money, and it doesn't include you. So call me, Gary Cooper, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 130, and we'll discuss your options of buying precious metals. Also, I can send you information on how you can roll over your IRA or 401k into a precious metal IRA. Again, don't get caught with money in your account when the dollar crashes. Call me, Gary Cooper, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 130.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
We travel so much, and having a fake TV, well, it gives added peace of mind.
Burglars look for houses that appear to be easy targets. But fake TV can fool even professional burglars into thinking someone is home watching television.
As a recent widow living alone, it gives me great peace of mind to set my fake TV near a window and know that passing motorists and pedestrians will think someone is home watching TV when I'm actually away from home.
Fake TV easily plugs into any outlet, just like a light on a timer.
And they're so easy to use. You just plug them in and they're ready to go. Plus, they're so affordable that we have one upstairs and downstairs.
Fake TV is only $29.95 with free shipping. Order your fake TV by calling 877-5-FAKE-TV or go to faketv.com. That's 877-532-5388 or faketv.com. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
We are America's largest independently owned communications network, GCN.
All right, we're back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're here 8 to 9 Pacific, 10 to 11 Central Time. Every day of the week, 5 days a week, and 24/7 on our archive page at brightsideben.com. We also have a search engine up at benfuchsarchives.com. Thank you to Peter in the UK. And also thank you to Robert Lundgren, who does such a fine job on my blog, pharmacistben.com, which we update regularly with news stories as well as blog posts. If you're interested in purchasing any of the longevity products that you hear advertised on the program, you can head over to brightsideben.com and take a look at our shopping cart, or you can call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. And make sure you ask them about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine multivitamin mineral complex powder that you add to water and drink. It's around $50 a canister. And most folks will notice results like more energy, weight loss, appetite suppression within 1 or 2 doses. And you can find out all about it by calling the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. Okay, so we're talking about this whole process of chemical transformation. The body is basically a chemical transforming system. Every cell in the body is basically a little miniature chemical transforming system. Hundreds of thousands of different chemicals are produced every second of the day in each cell. And you got 100 trillion cells. Can you imagine the seething, bubbling cauldron of biochemistry that the human body is, or that a cell really is? It's stunning beyond belief. I mean, when we look at our bodies when we're sitting still, it doesn't look like anything's happening, but using our Superman magnification vision, just looking at your skin or imagining what's happening in your body, it really is mind-boggling. And all of this chemical transformation, this A to B to C to D to E, that is occurring ceaselessly and endlessly with a divine intelligence that is incomprehensible to the human mind, all of this incredible chemistry requires nutrition, requires oxygen, and requires a clean, pristine environment. This is why the 3 steps of cell disease, and all disease is cell disease, and what we mean is all disease is cell manufacturing breakdown. All of it is caused by a lack of nutrients, a lack of oxygen, and detoxification. Why is this important? It's important because if we're not feeling as well as we should, or God forbid we're dealing with some kind of degenerative crisis or degenerative disease, cancer or heart disease, all we got to do is figure out a way to get chemical A to go to chemical B to go to chemical C, and the doctor isn't involved. There's no doctor that can help you in this process. There's no drug that can help us in this process. The medical model has stolen, has preempted, has co-opted this process and said, oh, well, we'll give you a drug or we'll cut out an organ and this A to B to C will be just fine. No, it won't be just fine. Drugs can't help us at the A to B to C level. Surgery can't help us at the A to B to C level. No drugs, no doctors, no pharmacists, no Obamacare can help us at the A to B to C level. Only God can. Only the divine force can. Through nutrition, through oxygenation, and through detoxification. One of these A to B to C processes involves the amino acid methionine getting converted to a chemical C, cysteine, via a toxic intermediary, a sometimes toxic intermediary called homocysteine. Homocysteine is one of the more problematic elements in the body. It has a role to play, but when its levels go up because of some kind of breakdown in this A to B to C process, disease shows up. Methionine is an amino acid that's found in animal products and high-protein vegetables. Things like beans and legumes have methionine. Peanuts will get you some methionine. Methionine was considered to be one of the first amino acids that showed up billions of years ago, before life on Earth, before life was created on Earth, according to the story anyway. There were a few gases like methane and ammonia and carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide from volcanic eruptions surrounding the Earth. Earth was just this big gaseous rock, no life, just gas and hard rock. And this is according to the story anyway. A big bolt of lightning came, and that bolt of lightning converted the gaseous material into a few amino acids, one of which was methionine. These days, not all scientists believe the story. The story was based on a landmark experiment that was done at the University of Chicago by a guy named Stanley Miller. Many of you have heard of this. I remember learning about it in biology. And there's some doubt around the story. It's just kind of a theory and kind of a story, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't change the fact that methionine is a very, very, very important amino acid for a lot of reasons. For one thing, it functions as a raw material, a building block for a bunch of super important biochemicals, including the Brightside favorite, lecithin, which helps us digest our fats. Lecithin plays a key role in the health of nerve cells, brain cells, and the nervous system. In fact, lecithin plays a very important role in the health of all cells because it's a key structural element in the intelligence, the information processor of a cell. Remember, the information processor of a cell is that thin sliver of stuff on the order of 10,000 or so times thinner than a piece of notebook paper. Can you imagine this? Take a piece of notebook paper and look at it, and many thousands of times smaller than this notebook paper, this piece of notebook paper, is the coating of a cell, the cell membrane, which is the membrane of a cell. And this membrane of a cell is largely composed of lecithin. Lecithin, in turn, comes from methionine. That makes methionine a vital amino acid for every cell, every organ, every tissue, every system of the body. It also, because methionine gets turned into lecithin, and lecithin is a fat metabolizing substance, important for all fat digestive issues. And if you have fat malabsorption syndrome, you suspect fat malabsorption, you want to be on lecithin. Well, it turns out that methionine can be converted into lecithin in the body. And this makes methionine like lecithin, a very important fat metabolizing supplement. Methionine gets converted into lecithin, and lecithin is a fat metabolizer. This is why you're going to find methionine in a lot of fat burning and fat metabolizing supplements. Bodybuilders who are trying to cut up and lose body fat will oftentimes use methionine for this reason. Then methionine has another really interesting role. Methionine is a source of something called SAM-E. SAM-E, capital S, capital A, capital M-E. You may have heard of SAM-E. SAM-E's got some really fascinating roles to play in the body. SAM-E can be thought of as an activated version of methionine. A lot of you guys may have heard of SAM-E. I remember back in the 1990s, SAM-E was all the rage for brain health issues, for depression. If SAM-E was being used as an antidepressant, that's because it's involved in helping the body make various brain chemicals, including the famous serotonin. And SAM-E was used as an antidepressant. In fact, there's a lot of good literature that talks about SAM-E, which is an activated form of methionine, as being important as an antidepressant. There's a really interesting book called The Methylation Miracle. We're going to talk about methylation here in a little bit. And that's all about the importance of SAM-E. SAM-E is one of the more fascinating nutritional supplements that you could take, even though it itself is not an essential nutrient. You don't absolutely, positively have to take SAM-E as a supplement, but because it's got so many important roles to play in various systems of the body, including the brain, including for mental health issues, it may be something that you might want to think about supplementing with. It'll cost you, it's a little bit pricey. It'll cost you about $30, $40 for a month's supply, maybe a little bit more. But because it's involved in so many different roles and so many different biochemical processes of the body, SAM-E could be something that you might want to add in to your Mighty 90 essential nutrients. It's basically an activated version of methionine. And because it's an activated version of another nutrient, it means there's no actual specific nutritional need for SAM-E, as long as you're getting enough methionine. But because not all of us activate our methionine effectively, SAM-E might be something that you want to think about as a nutritional supplement. All right, we'll continue talking about SAM-E and activation and biochemical processes here when we come back from our break, and take your phone calls as well. 855-660-4261 is our number.
Self-reliance, survival supplies, survival skills, national experts. Get it all at the only free-to-attend national event exclusively for preppers. This spring in Tulsa, it's the National Preppers and Survivalist Expo, a must-be-there event presented by American Living. This massive expo will include special guests, David Mays from Nat Geo's Doomsday Preppers, plus GCN's own Dr. Joel Wallach via live video conference. Hear Dr. Bones, Nurse Amy, and members of the American Prepper Network, along with many other leading national experts. Learn life-saving tips, CPR, how to handle crisis situations, walk through a bomb shelter, and much, much more. 2 big days, April 5th and 6th at the Tulsa Expo Square in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's April 5th and 6th. Doors open at 9 a.m. with absolutely free admission. Don't miss the National Preppers and Survivalist Expo, America's largest emergency preparedness event. Get your free tickets now. NPSExpo.com. That's NPSExpo.com.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right. General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL.
Lock in your price now. Take delivery in spring.
866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
I will never forget the day my son Jeremy told me he hated me and slammed the door in my face. I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman. Behavior problems can turn the child you love and your life into a nightmare. That's why my husband James and I created the Total Transformation, the step-by-step program that shows you how to fix the worst behavior problems and get your child to respect and listen to you again. No matter what the behavior, defiance, backtalk, angry outbursts, disrespect, we can help you stop it. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you. You can keep it forever for free.
Limited number of free programs available. Call now. 1-888-912-1595. 1-888-912-1595. That's 1-888-912-1595. 1-888-912-1595.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues, no matter how serious or trivial. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
Results will vary from case to case.
A little right, a little left, but always independent-minded. The Genesis Communications Network, GC.
All right, we're back on the Brightside. I'm Pharmacist Ben, and we do have lines open for you at 855-660-4261. Got an interesting Facebook here. And some of you guys are sending you notes on Facebook. I don't always check my Facebook, so it's hard to, if I haven't replied to you on Facebook, I apologize for that. It's best to send me an email, ben@ksco.com, ben@ksco.com. I try to get to get to 4 or 5 calls a day. Put your phone number on your notes, and I don't need to have, it's best if you put, when you're explaining whatever your health crisis is or health challenges or your friend or family member's health challenges, it's best if you do bullet points. It's easier for me to read through emails, and always put your phone number so I can give you a call back. Got a Facebook here, and I've been playing phone tag with this guy, or Facebook tag actually with this guy. We're going back and forth. And see if I can get this thing up here on my Facebook page. He says here he's on a fast. He wants to know. Actually, what does he say here? Let me get this out here. Good morning. I have a question about taking diatomaceous earth. Is there any chance that would be getting in the way of my longevity supplementation. 2 out of 3 of my daily drinks get some DE thrown in. Any chance I should? He wants to know if diatomaceous earth, which is a kind of clay sort of subject, will interfere with supplementation. And it's a great question because, indeed, clay can interfere with supplementation. Clay can tie up nutritional supplements, and you may not get the benefit of those supplements. So if you're using bentonite clay or diatomaceous earth as a supplement or as a detox substance, the same detoxification effects that earth and bentonite clay and zeolite, even spirulina, the same detox effects that you'll get from these kinds of substances can actually cause minerals and other nutrients to be flushed out of your body, supplemental nutrients. So they won't be flushed out of your body once they're in your body, once they're in your system, but if they're in your digestive tract and you take your earth or your bentonite clay or your zeolite with your supplements, you may end up losing the benefit of those supplements. So for detoxing minerals and using spirulina or zeolite, you want to take those separately from your detox, separately from your minerals, because you may lose those minerals as the detox supplements help you eliminate those minerals and vitamins and nutrients, as well as they help you eliminate those toxins. And they are wonderful detoxifying substances. Bentonite clay is amazing, amazing, amazing stuff. And it itself is a good source of minerals, too. You can use bentonite clay right into liquid. You can drink bentonite clay. Tastes pretty good. It looks sort of like a puddle of mud, but it tastes really good. And it is a good source of minerals, as I say, electrical minerals, as well as a good detox element. But you don't want to take your bentonite clay or your zeolite with nutritional supplements because the clay or the zeolite can magnetically attract those supplements and flush them out of your body. Okay, let's see. I think we'll continue talking about SAM-E tomorrow. It is a really, really interesting nutritional supplement, even though you don't hear about it these days too much. About 10 or 15, 20 years ago, we used to hear a lot about SAM-E as a brain health nutrient, and it is involved in this whole A to B to C process, and it does have a relationship to homocysteine. We'll talk about that tomorrow as we continue on the bright side, talking about amino acids for detoxification and for bodybuilding and bone building as well. Okay, our number is 855-660-4261. We do have a couple lines open for you. Let's go to California and welcome Shirley to the bright side. Good morning, Shirley. What's up?
Yes, good morning, Dr. Ben.
Good morning.
My problem is that my last pap smear indicated on an atypical squamous cells of undetermined significance. And
oh, my goodness. Are you reading that? How did you set that
I'm reading it.
Okay.
The acronym is ASCUS. And I also tested positive for HPV.
Ooh.
And the recommendation is a colposcopy, which, of course, is invasive to me, and a possible biopsy.
Well.
And my experience with the medical model wants me not to go near that.
You're a smart lady. You're a smart lady.
So I want to, and also this has been the first, I've never had an abnormal pap smear.
Okay. How old are you, ma'am? Or just roughly?
I'm 60-ish.
Okay, 60. Okay, so here's the deal. First of all, biopsies, I've always had a problem with biopsies in general. I mean, when you do a biopsy or when you have a biopsy done, you're actually sticking the needle in. If there is cancer, sticking a needle into the area, and if there's cancer and you stick a needle into a small tumor or some kind of cancerous lesion, you're just going to spread that cancer. So, yeah, you may need to have a biopsy occasionally, but you want to be really careful about it, and it seems like a problematic procedure. In any case, a pap smear, and by the way, do you know what a pap smear, what pap stands for? Do you ever wonder?
I guess I don't know.
Nobody ever hear about that. It's actually named after the doctor who was the first guy to do pap smears. He was a Greek guy named Papanakalu. Dr. Georgios Papanakalu. And so instead of calling it a Papanakalu test, they used to call it a Papanakalu test, actually. They call it a pap test or a pap smear. It's basically just a smear of your cervix. And what they're looking for is they're looking for defective cells that can sort of screen out cancer. Defective cells can be a precursor to some kind of cervical cancer, and they're actually that's basically what they're testing for, is cervical cancer or sometimes HPV, human papilloma viruses. It's a good test, but here's the thing. If you have abnormal cervical cells, you got a cell problem. And as we always say in this program, all disease is cell disease, and precursors to cancers are defective cells. Cells become defective. The shape of the cell starts to change, and that changes how cells process energy. And once cells process energy defectively, or there's defects in how they process energy, that can trigger genetic changes, which will ultimately result in cancer. So a precursor to cancerous cells are distorted cells, cells that have the wrong wrong kind of shape. Shape is everything in chemistry, and shape is everything in biochemistry. And once cells have distorted shapes, they're abnormal cells. That's what an abnormal cell is, by the way. It's a cell that has a distorted shape. That can be a precursor to cancer. But here's the thing. Nobody just has distorted cells in the cervix. They may notice it in the cervix. Your doctor may notice it in the cervix. But you got distorted cells. If you have it in the cervix, you're going to have a problem with cell distortion throughout the body. Basically, cells are beginning to break down. And in the reproductive system, the female reproductive system, that's almost like a red flag and an indicator, kind of a window into the body. And the fact that you have distorted cells in your cervix means you probably have messed up cells throughout the body. So you're starting to break down, my dear. That's the bottom line. So what do? You don't have a cervical problem. You got a body problem. It's just showing up in the cervix. Does that make sense? I'll tell you what to do here in a moment. But does that make sense?
I've done some research regarding HPV relationship. Some say that that actually is a good thing because it helps the cells, and then the other says it's a precursor.
Well, it's a virus, and whether it's a good thing or bad thing is not really the point. The point is that your body's starting to break down. And if you go to the doctor, they're going to focus on your cervix, they're going to focus on your reproductive system, but it's your entire body that needs to be focused on. Your body is breaking down, and nobody just has broken down cells in the cervix. If you got broken down cells in the cervix, you got them all over the body. And so you don't have a cervical problem, you got a body problem. This is so important. This is one of the hallmark cornerstone principles of what I call the Brightside philosophy. The body breaks down as a hologram. It breaks down as holographically. It breaks down. If it's breaking down in the cervix, it's breaking down in the bones, in the eyes, in the muscle, in the heart, in the blood vessels, in the skin, and everywhere else. And so what good does it do to focus on the cervix if the rest of your body is breaking down? This is why the modern medical model gets an F, as in failure, because it's focusing on these individual parts, these individual components of the body, and forgetting that these individual components live in a context of the entire body. Your entire body, my dear, needs to be addressed. And I'll tell you how you do that, because it's not that complicated. So hang tight, Shirley. And we'll come back from break and address your question, and then we'll take, if you're on hold, we'll take all your calls, or as many as we can get to today. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 855-660-4261 is our number. We'll be back after this.
Hello, it's Tom Chenault from The Tom Chenault Show. We are experts in home-based business and residual income. We show people how to make money from their home, either part-time or full-time. And in partnership with Genesis Communication Network, we've organized a team to fight back about people not having money, time, or health. And we need your help. What we want you to do is, if you've got an interest in building an organization to fight back against people taking our money, taking our time, and taking our health, we want to talk to you. All you need to do is call this number, 855-308-8326. Again, all you want to do is call 855-308-8326. You can make a tremendous amount of money and end up fighting for a great cause. Please call us right now.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R-value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Yeah? Did you want to see me, sir? Well, I did, but now that I do, I'm not so sure.
Sir?
Johnson, I got a mission for you that could change your life.
Oh, good, sir.
It involves traveling halfway around the world without so much as half a clue of where you're going or what you're going to do when you get there.
Situation normal, sir?
Uh-huh. But I'll be leading this mission, Johnson, so I'll be telling you what to do.
You, sir?
That's right, Johnson, and I say first things first.
Oh, good plan, sir.
And what I say is first is food. Always remember that, Johnson. Food is a big deal.
Sir, my brother-in-law can give us a really good deal on some surplus MREs.
Johnson, if you've got half a brain and that empty head of yours, you'll call the freeze-dry guy like I did. That food is better for you, it rehydrates faster, and it's good, Johnson, and it keeps for up to 30 years.
Will we be gone that long, sir?
I hope not. Now, get your supplies organized and meet me down to the pier at dawn on Sunday. We sail at sunrise.
Yes, sir.
This adventure is brought to you by the Freeze-Dry Guy. Call 866-404-3663 or visit freezedryguy.com.
Independently leading the way for the nation. Compelling talk for every political persuasion. We are G's.
All right, we are back on the Brightside talking to Shirley in California. Shirley, you there, ma'am? Let's get Shirley up here. Shirley.
Nathan, I should not have the procedure.
I'm not going to tell you yay or nay. This is what I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
When they do a pap smear, they're looking for cells that are growing too fast and they're all distorted and they're out of shape. This is one of the basic things that happens when a cell breaks down. It grows too fast, it grows out of control, it doesn't grow fast enough, or it'll make the wrong kinds of stuff. That's basically all that happens when a cell breaks down. The question is why is this cell breaking down? Now, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, you want to think about hormones, and this is probably the main reason when it comes to cells of the reproductive system, and that is progesterone and estrogen. Those are the two main hormones, although there's probably some other ones that are involved. But the two main hormones that are involved in cells of the reproductive system growing too fast or too slow involves estrogen and progesterone. So first thing you want to think about is probably balancing out your estrogen with a little progesterone cream. Progesterone cream is non-toxic, so it's a great strategy for all estrogenic health issues, female health issues, and it's pretty readily available. If you aren't on progesterone cream, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, I am taking it, and I also have the estrogen cream too, but I'm predominantly using the progesterone
cream. Okay, that's good. Now, that's just more like a symptomatic kind of thing, because I'd be more concerned with why are cells growing out of control inside your body. What other health symptoms do you have is the ultimate question, so we can form a picture of what's occurring. Nobody just has one health issue. You may notice it in one place, but until we get to multiple sample points, multiple data points, we can't form a picture of what's occurring in your body. Do you remember a guy named Bob Ross, who was a painter? He was on TV. Did you ever see that Bob Ross guy, by any chance, Shirley?
No, I guess I haven't.
Okay, Bob Ross was a painter, and he used to show people how they could paint pictures very simply and very easily. And what he would do is he'd draw little lines on this canvas, and by putting 2 or 3 lines on the canvas, all of a sudden a mountain would appear. You know what I'm talking about? You remember that guy, right? I was a kid when I would watch him, and I'd be amazed. He'd put 3 lines, and boom, there'd be a mountain. Another couple of dots, and you'd see a river. And then another couple of dots, and there'd be birds flying in the air. And all this was done by putting different dots, because once you accumulate sample points or dots, pictures start to emerge. With 1 dot, you don't have a picture. But with 2 or 3 dots, you can start to form a picture of what's occurring in the body. And this metaphor or analogy can be applied to the body in terms of health. When you start to get multiple points, a picture will a picture will emerge. With an abnormal pap smear, we got 1 point in the middle of our canvas, and it doesn't tell us squat. if a doctor is good, and there's not a lot of them, but if a doctor is a good doctor, what he'll do is he'll start to accumulate data points so he can form a picture of what is occurring in the body the way Bob Ross forms a picture of a landscape on a canvas. This is what a good doctor should be doing, and it's what very few of them do. They'll test your cervix, and they'll say you got a cervical problem. You don't have a cervical problem. You have a body problem. So let's start to work on how our cells are growing throughout our body. And I'm going to assume that I don't have time to get to a whole picture with you today, but I'm just going to give you some ideas on how you can work with the cells of your body. First and foremost, surprise, surprise, focus on the digestive system. Nothing will mess up the shape of a cell or the function of a cell faster than a messed up digestive system for a lot of reasons. One, toxins get into the body once the digestive system breaks down. That will cause defects in cell growth. And number two, because you won't be absorbing nutrients as well once your digestive system breaks down. And that, too, will cause defective cell growth, which technically is called dysplasia. That's the fancy name for defective cell growth. As in cervical dysplasia. Anyway, focus on digestive health. Use the ultimate enzymes. Use lecithin after meals. When women get older, their fat processing system starts to break down typically. You won't absorb your fats or fatty vitamins, so start to focus on nutrients that help you absorb fats. Lecithin is very, very important. The ultimate enzymes can be helpful. The Biolumin Nightly Essence is one of the most important estrogen balancing supplements you could ever use, and fat metabolizing supplements you could ever use. We always talk about probiotics is important for the digestive system, but what sometimes goes under the radar is the fact that probiotics are extremely important for fat metabolism and for the female hormones in the female reproductive system. So get on the Biolumin Nightly Essence. Are you already on that?
I take probiotics.
Okay, but whatever it is, I like the Biolumin Nightly Essence, but whatever it is, make sure you're doing 80 billion units a day, and make sure you do them in divided doses, and also use fermented foods, which are even better sourced than supplemental probiotics, because you get all the food factors and the food nutrients too. Essential fatty acids are a must-have. Use those with your digestive support, with your lecithin and your digestive enzymes and your probiotics. And then vitamin E and vitamin A, both are some of the most important nutrients for helping balance out female hormones and for cell growth in general. Vitamin E helps balance out estrogen, as does vitamin A. Vitamin A is very important for the growth, stabilizing the growth of cells, and vitamin E is very important for protecting the brain of a cell, the membrane, the outside part of the cell. 400 international units of vitamin E, and 20,000 international units of vitamin A a day are very important for you. And then I'd also be throwing in my minerals, especially selenium, which is wonderfully important for the female reproductive system. The Ultimate Selenium from Youngevity is a great source of selenium, 400 to 600 micrograms a day. And take your selenium with your vitamin E. Those two work together. And then I'd also be throwing in zinc, and like vitamin E and selenium work together, vitamin A and zinc work together. About 50 milligrams a day of zinc picolinate. Make sure you're getting on the entire Mighty 90, including, we mentioned the EFAs, but also the Osteocal and the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. I'd be sipping on that all day long. And then last but not least, if you have any blood sugar issues, which you very well could, most of us do as we get older, especially if you have some abnormal cell growth, there's a good chance that you're not processing sugar as well as you should. Wean yourself off of fast-burning sugars and get into some more protein, and then you might want to throw in the sweeties and some other sugar metabolizing nutrients as well. Thiamine, niacin, choline can be very important for helping you metabolize sugar, and the amino acids taurine and arginine are also very important for sugar metabolizing. So number one, focus on digestion. Number two, focus on fat metabolizing nutrients. Use your fatty supplements like E and A and the probiotics. Throw in your minerals, zinc and selenium, and make sure you're on the Mighty 90 and sipping on the BTT, and then stabilizing blood sugar. Anything else, my dear?
Okay, I think that should...
That'll take you a long, long way, and good luck with everything. I hope everything works out for you. Thanks so much for your call, Shirley. Joseph in Texas got a couple of minutes for you. What's going on, my friend?
Yes, sir. Mother was diagnosed, long story short, mother was diagnosed diabetes, thyroid, all of the above.
Okay, let's talk about that. Diabetes, okay, first and foremost.
I've got on everything. 20,000 units of... 20,000 IUs of vitamin A, B complex, the BTT, the vitamin E, the zinc.
You're missing the main point, though, my friend. Those are all great, and congratulations on using all those. Sounds like you've been paying attention to the bright side, and that's awesome. But you're missing the main point, and that's food. That's the number one thing to do. Diabetes is an eating disease. It's a food disease. It's not a doctor disease. It's not an endocrinologist disease. I had a friend whose dad used to tell me all the time how proud she was of her dad, who was the chief endocrinologist at a big-time hospital in New York. And she loved her dad so much, and he was a genius, and he was brilliant. This gal ended up with diabetes that was so severe she had to have her kidney removed at the age of 50. And her brilliant dad, the endocrinologist, didn't even know she was a diabetic. That's because diabetes is not a doctor issue. It's a food issue. It's an eating issue. So she's got diabetes, Joseph. You got to focus on the foods first. And I'm not saying those supplements aren't helpful. They're great, actually, and I'm very impressed that you probably were paying attention somewhere or doing some good studying, because those are important. Those are all important, as is chromium, vanadium, and from the sweeties. But diabetes is an eating disease. And if you have it, reversing it is as simple as changing the way you eat. And if you still have it, that means you're still eating the wrong kinds of food. If you're taking your supplements, by all means, continue doing that. That's great. But you want to focus on foods. What do? Number one, wean yourself away, and don't try to use willpower. Wean yourself away from the fast-burning sugars, the breads, the pastas, the potatoes, the rices, the cereals, the desserts, the fruits, and the fruit juices. You may have done it, but she still got diabetes. Well, my friend, congratulations, but she still has diabetes. So you haven't done enough of it if you've done it, because you know what I'm saying? It would just reverse. So wean yourself off of that.
The thing is she ended up in the hospital, and we've only been doing this for 2 weeks, and you know, she's still on her insulin and all that other fun bad stuff that she's not supposed to be on. And I don't know if they're supposed to be mixed together, the vitamins.
Okay.
Well,
Joseph, we're out of time, my friend, but this is a very good, important question. I'd love it if you could call me back tomorrow, and we'll spend as much time as we need. If you can call back early, we'll get you first thing, and then we can spend as much time as you need. If it's only been 2 weeks, though, you want to give it a little bit more time. And your questions are all very good. I wish we had more time to answer them today, but we just don't, because we're out of time. But if you call me tomorrow, I'll spend as much time as we need to fully address all of your questions. And thanks so much for your call. I apologize for cutting you off. So I want you guys to call in early. First thing. The earlier you call, the easier it is to get to all our calls. Anyway, thanks so much for listening, folks. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Tomorrow we'll continue talking about SAMe and what you can do to help lower homocysteine using SAMe as well as some other so-called methylating agents. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.
How can you save a ton of money and prepare for emergencies? By having your own in-home freeze dryer from Harvest Right. Now you can cut down on wasted food by freeze drying your leftovers. That's right. Create your own long-term food storage by freeze drying your own fruits, meats, vegetables, even complete meals with the Harvest Right in-home freeze dryer. Imagine the savings and the peace of mind. See how the amazing Harvest Right freeze dryer works at harvestright.com.
The TalkStream Live app for iPhone, iPad, and Android is the fastest and easiest way to access live talk radio anytime, anywhere. Download the free TalkStream Live app right now and see for yourself. You'll enjoy instant access to the best in live talk radio. Find your favorite shows and discover some new ones. The TalkStream Live app is available in the App Store, the Google Play Store, or visit TalkStreamLive.com. That's TalkStreamLive.com.
American gardeners and fellow patriots, make the right choice with your money, time, and your family food supply. Choose 100% pure heirloom seeds in the Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com. Why spend more? The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com is only $37.95 and includes 20 varieties of pure, hardy, easy-to-grow heirloom seeds. Yes, only $37.95. That's 70% less than our competitors. You could buy 3 Survival Seed Vaults for less than one of theirs. The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com MyPatriotSupply.com includes detailed planting and seed-saving instructions and ships same day. Plus, all orders over $49 ship free. MyPatriotSupply.com is American-owned by patriots like you, passionate about freedom and preparedness. Call now, 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Or discover more emergency preparedness items when you order at MyPatriotSupply.com. Choose the original. Choose the Survival Seed Vault at MyPatriotSupply.com.